Class A in field goal percentage at 61%. He and Frankie Fiddler helped clog up the middle, and that was one of the big reasons that Prep couldn't win that game.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what the Junior Jays are up against tonight with these Thunderbirds. Same starting five that Prep took on a month ago. Big name, obviously, is Chucky Hepburn, Frankie Fiddler as well. Hepburn signed to Wisconsin, Fiddler signed to UNO, and Chucky Hepburn's stats, unbelievable. 16.7 points per game. Leads Class A in both assists per game and steals per game with 9.3 assists, 4.1 steals. And Frankie Fiddler, 22.1 points a game. That places him fourth in Class A, sitting right between St. Thomas and Hunter Salas. And then a couple of these guys, as we saw last night, can really hit from downtown. Dodsler, Fiddler, and even Chucky Hepburn made a couple big ones.
I mean, Hepburn is top 50 in Class A in basically every stat you can find. Points, rebounds, assists, every shooting percentage, steals, and even blocks, as well as 7 double-doubles, which obviously leads Class A. Just an incredible player. And last night against Millard North, shot 50% from both the field and from beyond the arc, as did Frankie Fiddler. So these guys can shoot. However, their three-point shot was kind of muted against this Prep team that you see on the screen right now, only shot 35%. Question is whether these guys can do enough to outscore Bell West.
Yeah, so take a look at the Creighton Prep starting five. It's been the same 5 guys every single game this season. Justin City, Brennan Buckley, A.J. Rollins, MyJ Wiley, and Luke Jungers. Buckley and Jungers both over 10 points per game. Jungers had a nice bounce-back game after a rough 2021 to that point against Papio South. Had 14 points on Wednesday. That was his most since December 19th. And then Justin City, as you said, he really stepped up in a big way with those 8 steals. Also had 11 points. And then Buckley, only 5 points on Wednesday, but he's been an excellent scorer as well.
I mean, Buckley, that was probably his worst game in a while. That's his only game where he scored below 9 points since December 22nd of last year. He's been on a tear since then. He's one of the few guys on this Prep team that can say, I'm the best shooter on the floor every time I step onto the court. He shoots 47% from 3. That's good enough for 6 in Class A. And even a guy like Frankie Fiddler isn't quite there. He's 20th in Class A at 40%. However, Josiah Dodsler, right behind Buckley, 7th in Class A in three-point percentage.
And then looking at the numbers all crunched together, Creighton Prep, Bellevue West, number 3 versus number 2. Interesting thing about this matchup, these are the only 2 teams in Class A that have not lost in the regular season. Bellevue West's only loss came in that incredible matchup against Millard North in the Metro Holiday Final. And then Creighton Prep's only loss, the one we showed you earlier, to Bellevue West in the Metro Holiday Semifinal. But you see Thunderbirds 79.5 points per game, put up 81 on Millard North last night. No doubt they can score. These 2 teams match up incredibly well, but what is going to make the difference tonight, Brendan?
Well, looking at the points allowed per game, one thing you might say is that, Prep's just got a better defense than Bellevue West. But that is not true in the slightest. Bell West has forced 20 or more turnovers 7 different times this year. They've won all those games by an average of 32 points. So this team can take the ball away from you, possibly as well as any team in the country. So the real question is how Prep is going to match Bell West's offensive production, because Prep, good scoring team, not quite on the level of a Bell West. So one thing they might have to do is make sure they can shoot and make sure that the shots they're not making, they're getting back. Every game they shot 40% or more from 3 this year, they've won. They've also have 9 games with 30-plus rebounds. One of those games, or all of those games, are also wins, and they win those games by an average of 22 points. They're also averaging 10.7 offensive rebounds per game. That is 1.4 more than Bell West is. So if Prep can convert on the offensive boards, no easy task against guys like William Kyle and Frankie Fiddler. They should be able to win this game.
Yep, they're going to need their big men to play a huge role tonight. Creighton Prep, Bellevue West in a monumental Class A matchup, number 3 and number 2 going head-to-head. Tip-off in just under 5 minutes. We'll have it for you here on the Creighton Prep Sports Network right after this. Welcome back to the Hyder Center for this top 5 matchup here in Class A. Second-ranked Bellevue West visiting third-ranked Creighton Prep. Let's take you through the starters for tonight's game. First for the visiting Thunderbirds, number 4, Greg Brown, a senior, stands at 6'4", 10 or more points in 4 of the last 6 games for him. Then number 14, Frankie Fiddler, the senior at 6'6", leads the team with 22.1 points per game, put up 30 in the last matchup between these two teams. Then number 22, Josiah Dodsler, impressive sophomore at 6'2". He's 4th in scoring for underclassmen in Class A, had 19 points last night. Then number 24, Chucky Hepburn, the Wisconsin commit, senior at 6 foot, triple-double last night, reached 1,500 career points as well in that game. And then number 44, William Kyle, the big junior at 6'7" on the inside, 10-plus points in 3 of his last 4 games, team leader with 1.9 blocks per game. Then the other side, Creighton Prep. Same 5 guys as usual, of course. Number 3, Justin City, a senior at 6'2", 8 steals on Wednesday, most by any Class A player in a single game this year. Then number 4, Brennan Buckley, senior at 6'3", leads the team with 10.9 points per game. Number 11, A.J. Rollins, the big man on the inside, senior standing at 6'6", leads the team with 7.5 rebounds per game and leads Class A in offensive rebounds with 3.3. J. Wiley, number 12, senior at 6'3", 9 or more points in 4 of his last 6. And then number 21, Luke Jungers, the junior at 6'8". Any final comments before tip-off here, Brendan?
Both of these teams are built off of efficiency and consistency. They're going to come in, night out, and play their games. The real question is, Prep is a top 10 team in turnovers given up. They don't give the ball away very easily, and they're going up against a team that loves to take the ball away. Number 1 in steals and blocks in Class A so far this year. So the question is whether Prep can, at the very least, get shots up on their possessions instead of giving the ball away to Bell West. If they can do that, they might be able to take this win.
A.J. Rollins, William Kyle, we're underway, and Creighton Prep wins the tip-off. And here we go, top 3 matchup. Second-ranked Thunderbirds, third-ranked Junior Jays. Here's A.J. Rollins on the inside. Got in foul trouble last time these two teams met, and it was a big reason why Bellevue West won that game. Here's Brennan Buckley, trying to work in on Greg Brown, 4 against 4 here at the top. They got that Justin City, Chucky Hepburn matchup going, 2 of the best defenders in Class A. Luke Jungers now on the near side against Frankie Fiddler. Inside, threw it right to William Kyle, but got it back. Now Brendan Buckley with Fiddler.
Prep lucky to avoid a turnover there. Got to be able to convert off opportunities like this.
Yep, and that Bellevue West defense off to a nice start, forcing Creighton Prep into a long possession here. It's City and Hepburn at the top. Screen coming from Rollins, doesn't go. Now Buckley with a corner 3, it's no good. And Chucky Hepburn's got the rebound. Thunderbirds with their first possession. It'll be Josiah Dodsler to Frankie Fiddler. Greg Brown just under a minute into this one. Back to Hepburn in that matchup with City. Gets a screen from Kyle. Wide open in the corner. Frankie Fiddler from downtown. How do they leave him that open? And it's 3-0 Bellevue West.
The last guy Prep wanted to leave open, shooting 40% from 3 this year, and he gets an easy 3 points out of it.
Brendan Buckley, extra pass. Jungers, corner 3 for the answer. It's good. Luke Jungers ties the game at 3. A minute 15 into this one. These two teams, they're big men. Fiddler and Jungers can both shoot the 3 ball very well, as Fiddler, against great defense there, came up short, and they rule no deflection. Fiddler doesn't like that call, but it is Creighton Prep basketball with 6:34 to go.
Brendan Buckley, possibly the best defender that this Prep team has, averaging 1.5 steals a game. He shut down Isaac Trout in Prep's opening night matchup against Grand Island. And you got to wonder if they're going to switch him onto Frankie Fiddler if Fiddler gets hot.
Justin City against Hepburn. Tie game at 3, 6:25 to go in the first quarter. Now A.J. Rollins with William Kyle over to Brennan Buckley. Greg Brown on him. Tight defense there. Now Luke Jungers inside. A.J. Rollins going to go to work. But the shot's no good. Jungers, Rollins, and Hepburn fight for the rebound. And there is Chucky pulling it away. He had 12 rebounds last night, and he's got his first there. Now William Kyle for the Thunderbirds. 6 minutes to go first quarter.
The second effort by Hepburn on that play.
Three-pointer does not go from Hepburn, and it goes over the backboard out of bounds. Hepburn was great shooting the three ball last night. Made a deep one about 30 feet to end the first quarter at Miller North, then made a half-court bomb to end the first half.
Hepburn just an incredible player, and you saw him out-rebound Prep's two biggest guys on that last defensive possession. If that doesn't convince you that he's, at worst, the second best player in Class A, I don't know what will.
Great cross-court pass, and Jay Wiley, the beneficiary, gets the three-pointer to go, and it's 6-3 Creighton Prep. Now Josiah Dodsler will be fouled by Wiley as he tries to go inside, but both these teams, much like they started last time, off to a great start shooting the three-pointer.
Jay Wiley, definitely a guy that Prep's going to need to succeed. Oh.
On the inside, shot doesn't go. Now back to Hepburn. Fiddler over to Dodsler.
Hepburn makes another great rebounding play.
Josiah Dodsler had to go out of bounds, but touched by Creighton Prep. Junior Jays playing good defense so far. They've really only let in one quality Bellevue West shot to this point.
Both teams we've seen so far this game doing a really good job at making life tough for the guards to get open shots. Only real open shots come off busted plays.
Hepburn, great pass to the outside, and it's another three-pointer. We're tied again at 6. This time Greg Brown off the assist from Chucky Hepburn. And with 5:05 to go, these two teams evenly matched so far. A.J. Rollins for Creighton Prep. Junior Jays trying to take their lead back. Luke Jungers to Brennan Buckley. Gets a screen from Jungers. Fiddler switches on to Buckley at the top.
And the perimeter defense continues to be incredible by Bell West. Another nice thing that they're doing is they're making it really tough to get the entry passes in like that.
And there's A.J. Rollins. Can't get the shot to go. William Kyle's doing a nice job on him early on. And Bellevue West takes it the other way with Hepburn. Nice move there. Great pass to the inside. Dodsler, corner three. It is no good. Good ball movement there from the T-Birds, but no points come out of it. Now Luke Jungers, defender falls down. That's Kyle. Jungers going to go in himself, and he is fouled by Frankie Fiddler. And they'll call it a shooting foul, so Jungers going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. A 75% free throw shooter on the year.
Good play there by Luke Jungers. Saw the defense fall down and took advantage of it, and that's one thing that we mentioned the Prep is going to have to do. They're going to have to take advantage of opportunities like that. They don't come often. Jungers able to drive in and get the foul call.
First free throw rattles in for Luke Jungers. 4:23 to go in the first quarter. It's a 1-point Creighton Prep lead. Starting 5 still in the game for both sides here. Jungers will try to make it 2 for 2 from the line. That he does. 8-6 lead for Creighton Prep. 4:20 to go. Here comes Chucky Hepburn. 5 early points for Luke Jungers after those 2 free throws. Hepburn with it again. 4:15 to go. Try to get it down low. Buckley got his hands on the pass, and A.J. Rollins comes away with it. So they deny Chucky Hepburn another assist there. Great work from the Junior Jays defense.
That's something you don't see often, a Chucky Hepburn pass getting turned over instead of Chucky Hepburn causing the turnover.
Nice feed ahead to Josiah Dodsler, and he will settle things down on the offensive end. Hepburn going to go in on City and draw the foul. Evan Inselman is set to check in for the Thunderbirds with 3:53 to go in the first quarter. And here he comes, number 5 in black. Shot the three-pointer very well, Inselman did, down the stretch in that matchup against Creighton Prep back on December 31st. As Greg Brown will take a seat on the bench.
Inselman definitely one of those guys who's going to have to be successful. 6'5", 41% from 3. If he starts hitting shots, Prep's going to need to respond on offense with a lot of points.
William Kyle in on Rollins, forced to the baseline, and Buckley gets his hands on yet another pass and forces it out of bounds. Possession staying with the Thunderbirds. Connor Buckley will come into the game for the Junior Jays. A.J. Rollins will take a seat on the bench. 3:42 to go in the first quarter.
Both teams really long-armed on defense, and we've seen that a couple times now. Guys like Brendan Buckley or Chucky Hepburn have been able to get their hands into the passing lanes and that's why the scoring is a bit low.
Dodsler, three-pointer off the inbound from Chucky Hepburn, and Bellevue West takes the lead at 9-8 with 3:33 to go. Dodsler had 19 points last night, made 5 3-pointers, all of them coming in the third quarter. He was excellent. Junior Jays can't let him get hot. Here's Justin City trying to answer. Junior Jays living right in that corner, making another three. It's 11-9 Creighton Prep as City has his first 3 points.
Both teams living from well beyond the arc. Only points not from three-point land or Luke Junger's free throws. So both teams really doing a good job at converting their deep shots if they're open.
Dodsler lost the ball, and eventually it pops into the hands of Jungers. And here comes Brennan Buckley the other way. Under 3 to play in the first quarter. Back and forth we go between number 2 and number 3 in the state. J. Wiley inside. Jungers on Inselman. He'll try to go to work. Can't get the shot to go, but Connor Buckley's right there for the putback. And Creighton Prep has opened up a 4-point lead here, just past the midway point of quarter number 1.
Offensive rebounding going to be key for Creighton Prep. Connor Buckley gets a nice shot to fall there.
Here is Chucky Hepburn with a screen from Kyle. Now to the corner. Inselman for 3. That one's good. Bellevue West 4 for 4, or 4 3-pointers rather, in this first quarter. And with 2:20 to go, they've made it a 1-point game again.
They're doing a really good job at setting Hepburn up in the screen and roll action. He doesn't often look to the roller, but the screen does give him time to survey the court and find the open corner shooters who usually knock it down.
J. Wiley out to Connor Buckley. 2 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Here's Wiley with a 3. That one's too strong, but Buckley's there for another offensive board. Got tied up with Kyle there for a moment, but eventually he's able to get it out to his brother, Brennan Buckley.
Thunderbirds might want to consider boxing Connor Buckley out. That's the second time he's burned him on the glass.
City, same spot, same result on the 3-pointer. Creighton Prep back up by 4. Justin City with 6 in quarter number 1.
You mentioned that he's been hot the past couple weeks. He's continuing that tonight, already 6 points.
Here's Hepburn. Oh, what a dish. Frankie Fiddler can't get it to go from 3, and Junger's there for the offensive rebound. 1:25 to go in quarter number 1. Here's J. Wiley. Over to Brennan Buckley, guarded by Inselman. Jungers looking for the ball in the post.
Yeah, they got to look to Jungers here. He's guarded by Josiah Dodsler. If they're able to exploit that mismatch, that could prove fatal.
Oh, they will. What a pass right over the head of Inselman. Jungers makes it a 6-point lead for Creighton Prep. Just over a minute to play. 7 in the first quarter for Jungers. Now Inselman.
He's picking back up where he left off in the second half of last game.
Chucky Hepburn in on Connor Buckley. He got swatted. And Jungers gives it to City. Here comes Prep the other way. Buckley going to go right in. Dish out to Wiley. Another 3-pointer. No good. And Inselman pulls in the rebound for the Thunderbirds. Now quickly the other way. Fiddler going to drive right in. Right around Jungers. What a play by Fiddler. Makes it a 4-point game. 35 seconds to go.
Fiddler using his speed there to get around Jungers. For a guy who's 6'7", he's deceptively fast, and he's able to use that to great advantage on that play.
Under 30 to play in the first quarter. Creighton Prep leads Bellevue West by 4. Connor Buckley holding at the top. Now 18 seconds. Over to Brendan Buckley. Inselman on him. 15 to go.
Both teams doing a great job at playing their games on offense. All the scores right now are the ones we expected.
6 seconds. Buckley still with it. Gonna step back. 3-pointer. Yes, sir! Brendan Buckley ends the first quarter. Unless Hepburn can make it, it goes off the front of the rim. Creighton Prep with a brilliant start here against Bellevue West. They lead 21-14. Junior Jays have been dominant from beyond the arc. Buckley hits his first 3-pointer. 5 different Junior Jays scored in that first quarter. And I don't know if the 3-pointer is the only answer, but aside from that, what impressive for the Junior Jays to get off to this lead.
You mentioned the 3-pointer, and that is what's impressed me. They've hit 5, but on defense, I think right now they've forced more turnovers than Bellevue West has. Hepburn drove in, got blocked by Connor Buckley. We've seen a couple passes that have been tipped and intercepted. And Bell West also struggling to shoot inside. Hepburn's 0 of 2. Fiddler is 2 of 4, but he's missed a layup. And Greg Brown also struggled inside. So Bell West, really, their only offense that they're getting, aside from that one drive by Fiddler, has come off the perimeter. So if Prep is able to start spreading out their defense on the perimeter and making sure that guys like Jungers and Rollins can keep the layups from falling, then they should be able to keep this 7-point lead.
Leading scores after quarter number 1 for Prep. Luke Jungers has 7, Justin City has 6. For Bellevue West, Frankie Fiddler has 5, and then Greg Brown, Evan Inselman, and Josiah Dodsler all have 3 for the Thunderbirds. If you're just joining us, Tyler Reedy and Brennan Preisman bringing you a big top 3 matchup here on the Creighton Prep Sports Network. Third-ranked Creighton Prep going up against second-ranked Bellevue West, and it's been the Junior Jays getting off to the hot start as we get set to begin quarter number 2 with Bellevue West taking the ball.
Bell West has to start guarding the corner, and they got to get Hepburn hot offensively, because if the drive and kick is no threat, because he keeps missing layups, then Prep is going to start defending the kick, and those threes aren't going to be able to fall as easily.
Chucky Hepburn slipped, tried to get a pass inside. Casey O'Malley takes it the other way for Prep. More turnovers forced for the Junior Jays. Now Brennan Buckley back to Justin City. Guarded by Fiddler up top. Connor Buckley against Hepburn. They've made that switch. City no longer matched up with Hepburn. Oh, beautiful pass. City goes in and gets the shot to go. 9-point lead for Creighton Prep, their largest of the night.
8 in the first half for City. He's been performing incredibly. And some more turnovers.
Oh, my goodness, another one. Creighton Prep's defense has come to play tonight.
What they're doing is they're reading the eyes of the Bell West offense really well, because one thing about Hepburn is sometimes you can see where he's going to dish before he actually does it. And you saw Casey O'Malley a couple possessions ago use that and just get right in the passing lane to make the steal.
Just under a minute into the second quarter. Here's Justin City trying to navigate through, can't do so. Greg Brown with the poke, and he'll take it the other way. Here he comes. Oh, what a spin move by Brown, but the layup came up short. And now Justin City the other way for Prep. Over to Connor Buckley, looking for Rollins inside. Instead we'll go to City. Brennan Buckley, couple shot fakes there for the Junior Jays.
They've got Hepburn guarding Rollins. You got to look inside here if you're Creighton Prep.
Yeah, they're looking, but Hepburn right on A.J. Rollins. City's going to try to go in, and he's going to get fouled in the process. They will call that on number 20, Preston Ames, who has just checked into the game for the Thunderbirds. And now we'll see a couple more substitutions. Kyle and Dodsler back in the game for Bellevue West. Jungers and City back in the game for Prep, as both the Buckleys will sit down for the Junior Jays.
Both teams played a pretty clean game so far. That foul by Preston Ames, that's only the second team foul on Bell West. Prep's also only got 2. So we're seeing a lot of really talented players play some really nice basketball right now.
6:35 to go in the first half. Justin City over to Casey O'Malley. He'll go in on William Kyle. O'Malley gets it to go. How about that? Working on the 6'7" William Kyle, the 6'2" Casey O'Malley gets 2, and it's an 11-point lead. Now a 3-pointer for Greg Brown. That one's no good. City with another board. J. Wiley quickly ahead to O'Malley again. He'll step back. 3-pointer, no good. Rebound, Greg Brown.
Give O'Malley credit. First varsity season, and he seems to have no fear of this Bell West team, the defending champs.
Now that's something he's got no problem with. Confidence as Hepburn goes in and gets fouled by A.J. Rollins. Called a shooting foul. Hepburn's going to go to the line to shoot 2 with 6:01 to go. First free throws of the game coming up here for the Thunderbirds. Connor Buckley set to check back in, presumably for Rollins. As Chucky Hepburn can't get the first free throw to go.
And Prep has to be careful here with Rollins, because you mentioned before the game they don't want him to get into foul trouble, but you also don't want a scenario where you need a big man in, but you don't put Rollins in because you're worried about foul trouble.
Wow, Hepburn goes 0 for 2 from the line. 73% free throw shooter. Surprise right there. Now Luke Jungers for Prep. 5:50 to go, and that one out of bounds on the attempted pass, and Bellevue West takes over.
Looked like a miscommunication there. He wanted J. Wiley to keep back cutting, but Wiley looked like he was going to try a V cut to get an open 3.
Frankie Fiddler up top. 5:40 to go as Hepburn matched up with Connor Buckley. He'll go in once again. More great defense, but William Kyle right there to put it back in, and it's a 9-point game. Thunderbirds trying to make some inroads on this deficit. They've gone away from the 3-pointer for now and started attacking Prep's interior, which could be important with A.J. Rollins out. Casey O'Malley.
You mentioned the attacks of the interior, as O'Malley gets another one.
What a play by O'Malley. Confidence as ever tonight, going right to the basket on guys like William Kyle and Frankie Fiddler.
The difference in the game right now is Prep is willing to attack the middle, so is Bell West, but Prep is hitting their shots because they're not worried about getting fouled. They're not worried about getting swatted. They just want to score.
And that time there is a foul as Frankie Fiddler tried to go to the basket. They are going to call it on Justin City.
It's his second.
Oh, Connor Buckley. Connor
Never
Buckley
mind.
called for it. So 5, not 3. Brennan Buckley is set to check back in for Creighton Prep as Fiddler, an 80% free throw shooter, will go to the line to shoot 2. First one up and good. That makes it a 10-point game. Fiddler has been pretty good so far to start the first half. 6 points to this point. Not quite 30 yet. What he put up last time against Creighton Prep.
You got to keep in mind he did have 18 in the second half, so
Yeah.
he might just be waiting to get going.
Yeah, he's got 7 already, leading the way for the Thunderbirds in scoring. 27-18. Creighton Prep with the lead. Here's Justin City. Spins off of Hepburn. Now over to Luke Jungers. Brennan Buckley goes around Brown, but meets Hepburn inside, and that one through the hands of Justin City.
Oh, the cardboard's down.
Yeah, uh-oh. Got to watch out down there when you got those front row seats. As Bellevue West takes over with 4:38 to go. So now Bellevue West starting to force some turnovers here.
Yeah, the only issue is they can't convert on offense. Chucky Hepburn has not made a shot yet, and even though he's considered more of a passer than a scorer, that's still rare for him. If he can't get going pretty soon, this Bell West offense may be in trouble.
Dodsler, foul and 1. 27-20 the score. A much needed energy play there from the Thunderbirds. Dodsler can make it a 6-point game if he converts the free throw, which is highly likely considering that he is an 87% free throw shooter. Casey O'Malley and Connor Buckley come out. A.J. Rollins and MyJ Wiley come in for Creighton Prep.
Dodsler, the 87% free throw shooter, as you mentioned, and much like Casey O'Malley, no fear when attacking the bucket. He's 6'2", but he played like he was 7'2" on that play, getting to the rack and finishing.
6 points for Josiah Dodsler as he finishes off the 3-point play. Now Brennan Buckley to A.J. Rollins. Beautiful pass. A rainbow to Luke Jungers on the inside, and he gets the basket to go, and Creighton Prep is back up by 8.
9 points for Jungers. No struggles for the bigs right now for Creighton Prep. It's been pretty easy pickings for them so far underneath the hoop.
Chucky Hepburn matched up with Justin City. Frankie Fiddler goes in on Brennan Buckley, gets him to jump, draws the foul, and will go to the line to shoot 2. So Thunderbirds starting to force some fouls on the inside. Not exactly what Creighton Prep wants, considering the impact foul trouble had on them last time involving their big men.
And yeah, the impact fouls have on the big men, but the impact that fouls could have on the guards is also pretty important. Justin City already with 2 fouls, and the impact is twofold as well, because obviously Fiddler's probably going to convert both of these, so that's an extra 2 points for Bell West. But then next possession down, does Brendan Buckley play a little more conservatively on defense and leave Fiddler open when he shouldn't?
Fiddler makes both free throws. He's got 9 points as the Junior Jays still ahead by 6. We'll start the other way. 3:40 to go in the first half. Brendan Buckley over to Luke Jungers against Inselman. Tight defense, trying to force it inside for Rollins. And it's taken away by Dodsler. He'll step back. 3-point shot is good. Josiah Dodsler with 9 points. And it's a 1-possession game again.
Dodsler taking over for the slack. Hepburn is kind of left right now. He's just playing incredible offense.
Oh, great play there. A great pass as well to get it to Luke Jungers. And he finishes to make it a 5-point lead again. Jungers now with 11 in the first half.
Already in double figures, and a lot of that has come off good cuts.
Hepburn is fouled by Brendan Buckley going for the shot. So he's going to go back to the line to shoot 2. 3:02 to go in the first half. Second personal foul on Brendan Buckley. First free throw from Hepburn is up and good. Went 0 for 2 on his first trip. That's the first point of the night, surprisingly, for Chucky Hepburn. Definitely has a few assists so far, but Junior Jays have kept him in check scoring-wise as Casey O'Malley, Connor Buckley come back in for Creighton Prep. Brendan Buckley and Luke Jungers take a seat. Hepburn 2 for 2 from the line there, and it's a 3-point game again.
You mentioned the Junior Jays have kept Hepburn in check so far. One of the reasons for that is that most of his scoring comes off of drives, but Prep just hasn't let him get there tonight.
Speaking of drives, there's another one by O'Malley. This time the shot doesn't go. Bellevue West can tie it with a 3. Instead, Dodsler will try to make it a 1-point game with the jump shot. It is no good. And there's a foul called on the rebound. William Kyle, the guilty party. And Creighton Prep will take possession.
Prep doing a good job in the rebounding game so far. Haven't seen a lot of Bell West second chances because Prep's just doing a good job boxing out and getting the rebound.
Casey O'Malley with 2:30 to go. He's going to drive in again. Once again, the shot doesn't go, but look at Rollins go flying in. Can't come up with it, though. And Josiah Dodsler's coming the other way for Bell West. Three-pointer to tie the game. It's good. Right into the game. It's Jaden Jackson, the freshman, with a big-time shot. And it's 31-all here with 2:20 to go. How about the Thunderbirds? A lot of big-time energy plays here to get the score back even.
Yeah, last game we saw a couple of guys come off the bench and play really well. Evan Inselman comes to mind. He had 6 points in the East team's first matchup. But Jaden Jackson, shooting 38% from beyond the arc, comes right into the game. No fear. There's a defender in his face. No problem. And he hits it. And you hit the nail right on the head. Bell West is just getting more energy plays than Prep is right now. The and one from Dodsler, a couple of threes they've hit. This is looking like it's shaping up to be an instant classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Close game, 31-31 here as Creighton Prep opened up an 11-point lead at one point. Bellevue West has stormed back, and we're all tied up late stages of the first half. Justin City with it for Creighton Prep. Now Casey O'Malley inside. Wiley traveled, or no, he was fouled there. They will call a foul. That is the 4th on Bellevue West. Creighton Prep already has 7 team fouls, so Thunderbirds are in the bonus, by the way. With that one on the floor. So O'Malley will inbound from the baseline. Myjay Wiley with it at the top. Guarded by Hepburn for the first time tonight. And they're going to get another foul on Bellevue West there. So back-to-back fouls on the floor there, and the Thunderbird coaches none too pleased. O'Malley will inbound again.
Both teams have done a good job at drawing fouls in the post so far. And eventually that advantage could be key to winning this game.
Rollins goes to work, doesn't get the bounce. Bellevue West pulls it down, and here they come with a chance to take the lead. Chucky Hepburn gonna go right in. Beautiful, no look pass to Fiddler, but the layup attempt too strong. And here comes Justin City for Prep. 1:45 to go first half. Up against Fiddler. City goes right in. Oh, what a pass. O'Malley's got all the time in the world, but he can't make the three. City right there for the rebound. He eventually emerges from the pack with it. Hepburn going for a steal. Wiley's going to go in, and he will get the shot to go. Creighton Prep with a 2-point lead. 1:29 to go, and
I think
Dodsler's grabbing at his mouth, so he's going to come out of the game. I think he might have gotten
hit in the face by City on the drive because looked like he doubled over, clutching his face before City made the pass to O'Malley. And you just hope he's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a huge opportunity for Prep there off the second chance. Great rebound by Justin City. And Myjay Wiley able to finish the job with a nice layup.
Greg Brown takes the place of Dodsler on the court for the Thunderbirds as Hepburn surprisingly throws that one behind his man and out of bounds. So Creighton Prep takes over with 1:15 to go.
Hepburn looks a little bit flustered, and some of this could be fatigue. They're just coming off a hard-fought win. I know it was double digits, but it's still a tough team to play in Millard North.
A.J. Rollins goes right in and gets it to go with the left hand. His first 2 points. Bellevue West the other way, though, with a layup. That's Greg Brown making it a 2-point game again, under a minute to go. Myjay Wiley, 50 seconds left. See how long the Junior Jays hold on to this for. O'Malley's going to go right in, try to get it to Rollins, who was knocked away. Hepburn the other way. He's going to go right in, and he lays it in to tie the game. Creighton Prep might have suspected pass. Hepburn took it himself, 35-35.
That's where Hepburn's at his best. You mentioned that the Junior Jays were suspecting pass, and that's exactly part of the mystique of Hepburn. Is it when he's driving in, you worry, is there a guy open for three? You slack off him a little bit, he gets an open layup, bing, bang, boom, game is tied.
18 seconds left. It's Myjay Wiley with the basketball. Now 15 to go. A basket of any kind gives Creighton Prep the lead going into halftime. 8 seconds now.
From Rollins. I wonder if they're going to try a screen and roll action.
Now Wiley matched up with Brown. He's going to take the 3-point shot. No good. Hepburn looking for another half quarter. And off the side of the backboard, no good. And we have gotten the classic we expected here between third-ranked Creighton Prep and second-ranked Bellevue West. We are all tied at 35 as we hit the halftime break. We'll be back here on the Creighton Prep Sports Network for the second half. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fantastic finish here between these two teams. Welcome back to the Hyder Center. Top 3 matchup here between Crane Prep and Bellevue West. A lot of prep students are here tonight in the birdcage. It is packed as usual. The team's Hawaiian. But for those of you watching at home, as the CP Sports Network continues to grow, we invite you to join us in our coverage of Junior J athletics. For the first time ever, Prep is offering a media production sports class next year. Whether you're interested in working the live broadcasts, shooting photos, creating hype videos, conducting interviews, writing articles, producing podcasts, or all of the above, this is the place to be. The sky's the limit for what you can do here at the CP Sports Network, so come ignite your passion for prep sports. For more details, ask your counselor or Mr. Razger-Sheck. Tyler Reedy and Brennan Friesman here, back with you at the Hyder Center. Creighton Prep and Bellevue West producing a phenomenal game as expected, as we're all tied up at 35.
I mean, the tie at 35 is just so surprising to me because Chucky Hepburn really struggled that first half. He missed his first 6 shots, including going 0 of 2 on a trip to the line. Had at least 3 turnovers by my count, and we're still tied. It's incredible how well the team has done. Frankie Fiddler has 9 points. He's tied for the team lead with Josiah Dodsler, who made a couple of big plays in the second half. And then over on the prep side, Luke Jungers, I think, might have been listening to the broadcast. He heard you saying, oh, Luke Jungers is struggling. Luke Jungers has had a rough year, and he said, I think I took that personally.
I think not.
11 points in the first half. Justin City continuing a hot streak of his own. He's got 8, but it's just been a really good game on both sides. The question is which team is able to capitalize off mistakes, because points off turnovers have been equal. The only real difference is the rebounding battle. Prep is winning that by a wide margin. So if they can continue to win that, they should be able to pull away and get the win. If they can't, that's another story, especially if Hepburn starts getting it going on offense.
Yeah, one of the interesting things on the Prep offensive end, Bell West defensive end, Crane Prep has generated a lot of open looks. One of the things Bellevue West coach Doug Woodard emphasized going into the Miller North game was don't let the Mustangs get easy looks, and he felt they did that after the win last night. But yeah, Crane Prep has had a lot of wide open three-point shots. What do you think has gone into that?
Well, one of the issues is they've gotten into the lane a lot too, and Bell West has kind of been in a pick-your-poison spot. We saw Casey O'Malley get a couple nice drives to the hoop and finishing those lanes. We've seen A.J. Rollins and Luke Jungers get some nice shots in the post. So Bellevue West is basically saying, we'd rather take our chances with an area where you're shooting 30% from than an area where you're shooting 50% from.
Crane Prep starts with the basketball. Luke Jungers, the man who had 11 points in the first half, inbounds to Justin City. There's that matchup, City and Hepburn, 2 of the best defensive players in the state. Now Luke Jungers moves inside, gets it to A.J. Rollins. He'll go to work, big time contact there, and the charge is called. William Kyle took the blow, and Bellevue West takes the ball. 7:49 to go in the third quarter.
Great play there by William Kyle, 5th in Class A in blocks, and on that play, that can't have been easy to go up against A.J. Rollins, especially when he's throwing his arms around like that. Way to put his body on the line for Greg Brown, get the foul call, and give Bell West a chance to take the lead.
Here's Chucky Hepburn trying to get around Brennan Buckley, can't do so. Instead kicks out deep, 3-pointer. Greg Brown comes up short. Rebound to Josiah Dodsler off the tip. Now Chucky Hepburn tries to shake his way past Buckley. Somehow got the shot up and was fouled in the process. So Hepburn's going to the line to shoot 2. They'll get the foul on Brennan Buckley.
That's his 3rd. Brendan Buckley now has to be really careful. He's been a little quiet again, just like he was on Tuesday. Only 3 points for him, but he is a key contributor to this prep team.
First free throw is good from Chucky Hepburn. Casey O'Malley already coming into the game here in the second half as Buckley takes a seat with those 3 fouls, but O'Malley has been good so far as Hepburn converts both free throws. He's 4 for 6 from the line tonight. 6 points in total for Chucky. Here's Casey O'Malley. Gonna take the jump shot. That one comes up short, and Luke Jungers will be called for an over the back on Greg Brown. So Bellevue West has already forced 3 Creighton Prep fouls in the first 44 seconds of the second half. That is a big, big problem for the Junior Jays.
Yeah, I think one of the problems might be a little bit of desperation, a little bit of fear. You had an 11-point lead, now you don't. You're giving up plays like that to Greg Brown, and you got to be a little bit worried. you might think you need to take a chance anywhere you can get it, but the issue is that's leading to a lot of fouls for Bell West. Eventually that's going to lead to a lot of free throws, and that's what killed Prep in their last game.
Here's Chucky Hepburn a minute into the second half. Kyle goes in on Rollins. Turnaround shot, no good off the front. And now A.J. Rollins will set it up ahead to Casey O'Malley.
Prep needs to take their time here. They don't need a crazy shot. They just need a good one.
Oh, great play. City gets it to go. As he got down along the baseline, O'Malley found him, and we're tied at 37. Kyle's going to kick out. Dodsler, three-pointer, no good. He struggled a bit from downtown tonight as J. Wiley trapped in the corner for a moment. He's eventually able to come out with it off the give and go from Rollins. Great pass to the corner, but just a little bit out of the reach of Luke Jungers. Out of bounds, Thunderbird basketball.
There's another one of those trying to take too much of a chance plays for Creighton Prep. They saw Jungers and tried to go for the home run ball for a corner three, but you don't need to push the pace that much with this much time left on the clock.
Justin City has hit double figures with 10 points for Creighton Prep after that last basket. Here's Chucky Hepburn. Splits two defenders and goes right in. Lays it in. Bellevue West takes the 2-point lead with 6 minutes to go in the third.
And there's the Chucky Hepburn we saw last night. 6 straight points for him already. And just split the Prep defense easily right there.
And there's another Creighton Prep turnover, very similar to what we saw in the first half from Bell West. And Coach Lukey is not happy with Casey O'Malley after that pass went out of bounds.
You mentioned that we're seeing a lot of turnovers that look like what Bell West was putting up in the first half. And one of the biggest reasons for that is miscommunication, partially forced on by desperation. Like we've seen a couple plays now for Prep where the passer thinks the cut's going one way, right as the cutter turns and goes back the other way. And that's because neither of them are really in sync with what they want to do. What they want to do is win the game. They just have different ways of going about it. But Bell West has definitely figured out their offense. They figured out what works, and they're sticking with it. Prep's going to need to do the same if they want to get their lead back.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of that miscommunication has to do with these two student sections in the building tonight. They are packed, and they are loud here in the Hyder Center. Thunderbirds working with a 2-point lead. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. It's Greg Brown to Chucky Hepburn. Gets a screen from Brown, now able to wiggle his way through. What a play from Chucky Hepburn, and the Thunderbirds are up by 4. Justin City will take it the other way for Prep. J. Wiley now. Over to A.J. Rollins.
I think Chucky might have heard me at halftime when I said he was struggling offensively, because he is certainly not struggling anymore.
Rollins goes right over him. Shot comes up short, and Kyle pulls in the rebound. O'Malley nearly poked away the pass. Now Hepburn going in again. Dishes out this time, but O'Malley comes between him and Brown. He comes the other way, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Brown. Great play by O'Malley there, anticipating that Chucky Hepburn kick out.
O'Malley's done that a couple times. We saw one in the first half where he sniffed out the back cut that Bell West tried and was able to tip it in. But he's done a really, really good job so far tonight playing in, aside from the first matchup for these two teams, the biggest varsity game of his career.
Connor Buckley has come into the game for Luke Jungers. Here comes Justin City. Kick out. Buckley drives along the baseline. Instead, we'll just choose the other side. Now Justin City. 4:45 to go in the third. Poked by Fiddler. City able to regain control and get it over to Connor Buckley. Over to O'Malley against Hepburn. Inside. Rollins couldn't reel it in. Fiddler grabs it. Thunderbirds the other way. Dodsler going to retreat and take the three. No good again, but there's another offensive board. Brown, in and out of the hands of Kyle. It was a 2-on-1 after the offensive rebound, but the Thunderbirds unable to convert.
That's a play that Bell West would really like to have back. It's also a play that Prep is really thankful for, because it means that a couple of mistakes they made the last possession don't come back to haunt them. It also means they've got another chance to cut back into this deficit.
4:26 to go in the third. Martell Evans is into the game for the first time here for Prep as J. Wiley heads out.
Earlier you mentioned that Bell West is making a lot of energy plays. Evans could be the guy that does that for Prep. When he comes into the play, he plays really well on offense and defense, provides a lot of energy for the team.
Jaden Jackson, Evan Inselman in for the T-Birds. Brennan Buckley in the basket with a three-pointer. And it's a 1-point lead for the T-Birds, 41-40 with 4 minutes to go.
Can't leave a 47% three-point shooter that wide open.
Birdcage making a lot of noise. Here's Chucky Hepburn against City. Drives in, jump shot on the step back, no good. And Evans eventually comes up with the rebound. Looked like nobody was really sure to get it. Nice spin play on the reception from Buckley. He kicks out. 3-point shot from Evans, an air ball, but Brennan Buckley's right there to put it back in. 2-point basket there to give Creighton Prep the lead at 42-41.
Buckley has 3 fouls, but he's not playing conservatively. He's going all out. He wants to win this game as bad as anyone on this court right now.
8 points for Buckley. Cross-court pass from Chucky Hepburn, and stepping out of bounds was Frankie Fiddler. And the Junior Jays riding a wave of momentum here. 3:22 to go in the third quarter.
You got to keep converting here. You've got the momentum. You've got to keep it. You don't need to go for the crazy plays that'll bring the roof down. Just go for the good plays that are going to result in buckets, and eventually the roof's going to come down anyway.
Brennan Buckley with 3:10 to go. Over to Connor Buckley. He works his way in, trying to find Evans. Instead goes to City, and that is going to be a backcourt violation with 3:02 to go in the third quarter.
We've seen defenses on both sides make a lot of plays like that, where the passer is bumped or is struggling just enough that the pass is off target. Bell West able to take advantage of it there.
Jaden Jackson doesn't take the three, instead up top to Greg Brown. Corner three, Frankie Fiddler, air ball there. Not sure if Buckley got a piece of it. Birdcage doesn't think so. Here comes Justin City the other way. He'll drive right in, Euro step, and the foul. Nice work from Justin City. And he will go to the line to shoot two with 2:45 to go in the third.
City, a guy that Prep would really like to keep going offensively. Hit double figures earlier in the quarter. And as you said, very nice Euro step. With City and Evans playing the 1 and 2 spots for Prep right now, that could be just the burst of energy they need to get the lead back and keep it.
Justin City unable to convert on the first free throw. On the season, he's a 74% shooter from the line. Second one would make it a 2-point Junior Jays lead. Up and good. Justin City with 11, matching Luke Jungers for the team lead. 2:40 to go in the third. Bellevue West down by 2. Here's Greg Brown at the top. Over to Josiah Dodsler. Chucky Hepburn has come out for the Thunderbirds. Brown can't get the shot to go. Here comes Brennan Buckley the other way. Dishes off to Justin City.
You mentioned Chucky Hepburn being out. Best offensive player and best defender for Bell West. If Prep ever needed a bucket, this is a possession.
City with a great move and a great shot, plus the foul. Justin City making some great plays here to start the second half. And Prep has taken a 4-point lead. Hepburn's going to come right back into the game.
That makes it 5 in the third quarter for City. And they are going to, Bell West needs Hepburn now to maybe put a stop to whatever City's doing, because he's just come out like a man possessed to open this third quarter. He's almost outscored Bell West by himself.
13 for City. With the free throw, comes up short. 2:15 to go, ahead to Jaden Jackson. Thunderbirds looking for an answer. They won't get it, but Dodsler's going to have the rebound. So plenty of offensive boards here in the third quarter for Bell West. Greg Brown going to go with the, cross-court pass hit the rim, but still gets to Jaden Jackson, who is fouled on the play. Not sure I've ever seen that, where the cross-court pass goes off the rim. It still gets over to the intended receiver.
Prep, kind of a lucky break that it did hit the rim, because Bell West, much like the first half, getting open guys off cross-court passes.
Near steal there. Bell West able to regain control. Dodsler steps around one, but has it poked away. City's got it for Prep. Now Martell Evans up ahead. 1:45 to go. He's guarded tightly by Dodsler, and Lukey's going to call a timeout. So timeout Creighton Prep. 1:43 to go in the third quarter, and what have you seen from the Junior Jays, Brennan, that's allowed them to overcome what was once a 4-point deficit and take a 4-point lead to themselves?
Justin City and Brendan Buckley.
Yep.
That's all their offensive production right now in this half. And it's the ways they're doing it, too. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not throwing up crazy shots. They're just playing how they normally play. But for Buckley, it's a mixture of cutting off ball and dribbling in. For City, It's just driving and scoring. And they've done that very well. Bell West, aside from Hepburn, now they're struggling in an inverse of the first half. Hepburn's their only scorer right now, and he's got 6 in the quarter, but that's it. Dodsler's missed 2 threes, Greg Brown's missed 2 shots, and then Jaden Jackson, Frankie Fiddler, and William Kyle have all also missed shots. So the Prep defense has maybe figured out this Bell West offense, which could be huge as we come closer to the fourth quarter.
So 1:43 to go. It's a 4-point lead for Creighton Prep. Justin City, the guy you talked about, has reached 13 points. Brennan Buckley, the other guy you talked about, has reached 8. Luke Jungers has been on 11 since halftime. Now on the other side for the Thunderbirds, Josiah Dodsler has 9, Frankie Fiddler has 9, Chucky Hepburn has 10.
City had his career high of 21 earlier this year against this very team. Wonder if he's on the way for another big scoring performance.
Yeah, and he had his season high last year against Bellevue West with 17 on January 25th of 2020. See how much more he can do with 1:30 to go. He's got it in his hands now. Kicks it out. Connor Buckley, Martell Evans in the corner. Seeing a lot of playing time, Evans is. 20 and white as he will drive in and get fouled there on the floor. So Rollins, Wiley still out of the game for the Junior Jays. O'Malley on the bench as well. He's seen plenty of action. Josiah Dodsler was called for the foul there. 1:22 to go. Connor Buckley inbounds. Justin City up top. Over to Martell Evans. Up against Dodsler. Brennan Buckley. 1:15 to go. Connor Buckley. Back to Martell Evans. Luke Jungers works his way in. Now back to Justin City. Tight defense from Hepburn. He dishes to Jungers, who's going to get fouled and count the basket. Luke Jungers makes a big play for Creighton Prep, and they're up by 6. 1:03 to go in the third quarter. They'll call the foul on Evan Inselman.
The Junior Jays really starting to look to their height advantage in the post. Inselman stands at 6'5", Jungers stands at about 6'7", 6'8", and he's able to come off the winner there with an and one.
So Jungers makes the free throw. He now leads all scorers with 14 points. And Creighton Prep leads Bellevue West by 7. They have taken over here in the second half of the third quarter. Frankie Fiddler to Greg Brown. Up against City, under a minute to play. Dodsler doesn't take the 3. Back to Brown. 50 seconds to go. Dodsler. Brown again. Hepburn, deep three-pointer. It's too strong, and Justin City's got the rebound.
Creighton Prep doing a great job closing out on potential three-point shooters for Bell West. Dodsler passed up a couple opportunities, and then Hepburn took a shot from way beyond the three-point arc because that was about as open as he was going to get.
Three-point game is definitely slowed down here in the second half between these two teams. A lot of makes from downtown in the first half, but definitely not so much here in the second. Martell Evans with 18 to play in quarter number 3. Justin City to Brennan Buckley.
And Prep going to hold for the last shot here. Buckley hit a shot at the end of the first quarter. Can he do the same here?
Connor Buckley to Luke Jungers. 5 seconds. Brennan Buckley going to try another 3. It's too strong. Rebound by Hepburn. The 3/4 court heave is going to go over the backcourt. Great catch in the front row of the birdcage, and that is going to do it for the first 3 quarters of play. Creighton Prep 48, Bellevue West 41. Junior Jays have opened up a nice lead. So in the huddle right now, if you're Coach Doug Woodard for the Thunderbirds, what needs to change in the fourth?
I wouldn't say anything necessarily needs to change. You just need to, if you're Bell West, you just need to start hitting your open shots. If you don't count the 3/4 court heave by Hepburn to end the quarter, that was 6 missed threes by Bellevue West in that quarter. Prep's not necessarily doing anything better on defense, but the shots that were falling for Bell West aren't falling anymore. So if you're Coach Woodard, what I think you do is you look at Hepburn, you look at Fiddler, you say, boys, we're down 7. Win us this game. And then you let your guys work their magic, because Fiddler has been super quiet. His only points since the first quarter have been off of free throws. He's been stuck at 9 points since well before halftime. So he's a guy they really have to get going if they want to win this game.
Yeah, Bellevue West came out strong to open up the second half. Chucky Hepburn had quite a few quick points to start the third quarter. It looked like Thunderbirds might be starting to build up a lead, maybe pull away a little bit, but Creighton Prep said absolutely not, and now they go into the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead. Can they hang on and knock off the number 2 team in the state, the team that just knocked off the number 1 team in the state last night? Chucky Hepburn will start with it for the Thunderbirds against Jungers. Gets the layup to go and the foul. Big time play from Chucky Hepburn. Bellevue West is going to need plenty of those down the stretch. Foul was called against Jungers.
Another big time play by Hepburn, especially in that screen and roll action with guys like William Kyle. Bell West really likes to put Hepburn in the screen and roll, and it worked to perfection there.
Free throw was missed by Chucky Hepburn, so it remains a 5-point lead for Creighton Prep. Brennan Buckley over to Connor Buckley. A.J. Rollins, J. Wiley still on the bench for Prep. Here's Evans. City fell down. Evans has to go in himself as a result and gets the foul. Shot does not go, but Evans going to the line to shoot 2. 28 seconds into the fourth quarter. Foul was called against Chucky Hepburn. So Evans will shoot 2 free throws here.
And much like his counterpart, junior Casey O'Malley, Evans showing no fear tonight, going right at the best guard defender in the state, getting a foul, nearly getting the shot to fall as well. And there's the energy that we said he would bring.
Yep, and at long last, A.J. Rollins back in the game for Creighton Prep, replacing Luke Jungers. Evans, 2 big free throws there. And the Junior Jays regain their 7-point advantage, 50-43. Here's Chucky Hepburn. Greg Brown. Cross court, what a play by Brennan Buckley. And a 4-on-2 for Prep the other way. Martell Evans goes in and gets denied illegally by Chucky Hepburn. Great defensive recovery, but a foul. So Evans going right back to the line, and now 2 fouls in quick succession there against Hepburn. Only his second though, so
yeah,
it's been a great job to this point from
Thunderbird
Hepburn.
fans can't believe it. Hepburn just looks extremely confused. He thought he did everything right on that play.
First free throw good from Martell Evans. Junior Jays up by 8.
Evans 3 straight points now, all coming from the line.
Yep,
all thanks to Hepburn fouls.
4
Make
straight.
It 4.
Yeah, that's huge. He was a 48% free throw shooter coming in, but 4 for 4 from the line here to start the fourth quarter.
And Prep has switched to a zone now. That makes it a lot more difficult to get those cross-court passes that Bell West likes so much.
Hepburn up top, drives in. Greg Brown along the baseline, tried to dish, and it's out of bounds off of Creighton Prep. So Bellevue West will keep it. 7:03 to go in the fourth.
The way Prep's got the zone set up is, you can kind of see it, it's a little bit of a 3-2, where they've got, right now, it's Rollins and Connor Buckley down low, and then Brendan Buckley, Martell Evans, and Justin City doing a good job on the perimeter like that.
City on a breakaway. City throws it down, and Creighton Prep leads by 11 with under 7 minutes to play. The inbound went to Frankie Fiddler. It was too tall for him. City took it the other way, and the Junior Jays on a roll here in the second half.
Well, I was just talking about how the perimeter defense by Prep was making it tough for Bell West to get those long passes. They tried a long pass, and Justin City said, "Not today, sir." Just an incredible performance from him again. That makes it 7 points in the second half, 15 in the game for City. And him and Martell Evans have really got something going on defense right now. Just all over the court in that zone that Prep has switched to, and that has made Bell West's lives miserable on the perimeter.
6:57 to go in the fourth quarter. 54-43 Creighton Prep. What a second half from the Junior Jays. And as opposed to the first matchup between these two when Bellevue West pulled away in the fourth quarter, Creighton Prep is trying to pull away in the fourth with some huge plays, as he said, from Martell Evans and now Justin City. So can the Thunderbirds answer? They've got to get something going here.
They don't need to go too quickly yet. It's almost to that point, but a 3 makes this only a 4-possession game. So you just need to be careful and get a good look.
Frankie Fiddler. Prep still playing that zone defense.
And there it is again, Brennan Buckley right in the passing lane for the cross court.
Three-pointer, much needed, no good. Rollins rises up for the rebound as Fiddler couldn't get it to go from downtown. Here's Martell Evans, 6:30 to go. Guarded by Josiah Dodsler. Evans still with it. Now hands off to Connor Buckley. Gets it inside.
Good D-cut.
What a play. City can't get it to go. Good defense there from Bell West. Here's Dodsler. Steps back over to Chucky Hepburn. Nice dribble move there, and the three-pointer no good again. Bellevue West unable to hit those threes, and now with that foul, they have put Creighton Prep in the bonus. So that's going to send Connor Buckley to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Or is it going to be Rollins? It's going to be Rollins.
Yeah, it's Rollins. He was boxing out again. And A.J. Rollins, once again, been quiet. Only 1 of 5 so far tonight. 2 points. But he's been boxing out on defense all night long. And you see the result on the scoreboard.
A.J. Rollins misses the free throw. So Bellevue West still down 11. Takes it the other way. Dodsler to Hepburn. Fiddler. Hepburn again. Fiddler now. Works in on Connor Buckley. Dishes out. Hepburn, another three-pointer. This one's good. Chucky Hepburn, a much-needed three for Bellevue West, and it's an 8-point game.
Hepburn has all the Thunderbird points in the second half right now. They really need somebody else to get going because he can't drag them back from this 8-point deficit by himself.
Brennan Buckley, Thunderbird fans want to travel. They don't get it. Martell Evans against Dodsler. Spins. Finds his way to the basket, and the shot doesn't go, but he was fouled.
Evans just done an incredible job at that all night long. He's been in since, I think, the midway point of the third quarter, and that's basically all they've asked him to do on offense is drive in and maybe draw some fouls, and he's done that extraordinarily well.
Foul was against Josiah Dodsler as Evans comes up short with the first free throw. Luke Jungers will come back in. Connor Buckley comes out for Prep. 5:30 to go in the fourth. Second free throw for Evans. Good that time, and it's a 9-point lead. Maya J. Wiley will take Evans' place. So Prep going back to their starting 5 here.
It looks like both teams have their starters in.
Yep.
We might see that for the rest of the night.
Chucky Hepburn to Frankie Fiddler. Back to Hepburn again. 5:25 to go. Greg Brown. William Kyle tried to get it back in. It was knocked out of bounds by Creighton Prep. City might have gotten his hand on that one.
Yeah, great defensive read by City and by Brendan Buckley as well. They saw that Greg Brown was trying to make the cut to the lane, but they did not let it happen.
Frankie Fiddler. Hepburn, another three-pointer, another make. Chucky Hepburn trying to will the Thunderbirds back into this one with his three-point shooting. And it's 55-49. 18 in the ball game for Chucky Hepburn.
And the last 16 for Bell West. He is almost single-handedly carrying this offense back into this game. The question is, how long can he keep doing it?
Brennan Buckley over to Justin City. A.J. Rollins against Kyle. Inside, Jungers, Fiddler overcommitted, and Jungers gets the layup to go. 8-point lead again for Prep.
That's the danger of having a team that's so steal-happy like Bell West, is if you miss the play and there's nobody back.
Hepburn again
Wow!
with another three-pointer. Chucky Hepburn, unbelievable, and it's a 5-point game.
3 in a row for number 24 from downtown. He is red hot right now.
21 points, matches the total he put up last night as part of the triple-double. Brendan Buckley cannot get either of his 2 shots to go. Second one was blocked by Kyle, out of bounds. Prep keeps it. 4:14 to go.
Chucky Hepburn has flipped some sort of switch. We don't normally think of him as a scorer, but that's basically all he's been doing in the second half, and he's been doing it extraordinarily well.
Oh! He's got a steal,
Here he comes.
He's got a basket. 3-point game. Chucky Hepburn putting the Thunderbirds on his shoulders. 4 minutes to go. Brendan Buckley, that one was poked, but out of bounds. William Kyle, or make that, Greg Brown got his hand on it. 3:59 to go. Prep will inbound from midcourt.
Looking at the second half scorebook so far for Bell West, it's nothing short of incredible. All you see is a whole bunch of misses all down the line, And then you get to Hepburn's slot, and it's just a bunch of threes and twos.
City draws the foul on Hepburn, who is in utter disbelief.
And it looked like City might have extended the elbow there, maybe getting away with one, but a huge play by Justin City.
Yep,
and he may not be winning the battle against Chucky Hepburn right now, but if he makes these two, that's a big step towards winning the war.
1-1 for Justin City. First one is good. That was a long conversation between Chucky Hepburn and the official after that foul. He did not like that call at all. City, 16 points, trying to make it 17, and a 5-point Prep lead with this one. Comes up short. Fiddler with the rebound, 3:50 to go.
He got it right to Hepburn after he grabbed that board. They know exactly what's coming.
Here he comes again. Hepburn is fouled, and the shot doesn't go, but he's going to the line for 2 free throws. So Bellevue West just feeding everything through Chucky Hepburn at this point, and why wouldn't you with how hot he's been? 16 foul on Creighton Prep. One more, and they'll put Bellevue West in the bonus. Hepburn's first free throw, no good.
The free throw struggles have been pretty key tonight for Chucky Hepburn. In fact, that's what's made the difference right now. He's missed 4 shots from the charity stripe, and it's a 4-point game.
Second free throw, make it 5 missed from the charity stripe. And it remains a 2-possession game, so all the things Chucky Hepburn has done well in this fourth quarter, he misses both free throws. Now Brennan Buckley, there's a takeaway, and Dodsler is fouled, trying to split the defense.
And if that's on Jungers, that's his 4th.
Yeah, it is.
So there's the foul trouble you mentioned in the pregame that could prove fatal to Prep. If Jungers has to take a seat, and Rollins also has 2 fouls, who's going to be able to stop Bell West from feasting inside?
1-1 coming up for Dodsler. Bellevue West is now in the bonus. Both teams are in the bonus with 3:36 left. Free throw rolls in, but Coach Lukey is saying no way Jose to the idea of bringing Luke Jungers out with those 4 fouls. He's leaving it in for the time being. Dodsler with his second free throw. We've got a 2-point game as he hits both. Timeout Bellevue West with 3:36 to go. Junior Jays lead by a score of 58-56. Dodsler has reached 11 points with those 2 free throws, but it has been the Chucky Hepburn story in the second half.
Indeed it has.
With 23.
Those 2 free throws, the first points of Bell West that were not out of the hands of Chucky Hepburn since Greg Brown gave them 33 points near the end of the first half. Since then, it's been basically all Chucky, and he has now dragged them back from the brink, not once, but twice. Once in the first half, once in the second half. They're right here, and the Chucky Hepburn offense is one of the most productive offenses I've seen calling a basketball game.
Absolutely. 3:36 left. It's going to be Creighton Prep basketball. They lead by 2. Both teams are in the bonus. Prep with 7 fouls, Bellevue West with 9.
Yeah. The key for both teams here with those fouls isn't necessarily don't foul. Sometimes fouling is unavoidable. The key is don't make any stupid fouls.
Brennan Buckley knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Creighton Prep. Bellevue West going with the full court press defense here, coming out of the timeout break. Myjay Wiley will inbound for Creighton Prep. Tight defense again from the Thunderbirds. Wiley looking for an option, taken away by Kyle. Now Chucky Hepburn. Fiddler, 3 for the lead, is short by quite a bit, and Jungers pulls in the rebound. Over to A.J. Rollins, 3:18 to go.
The Junior Jays really, really lucky that Fiddler has been struggling in the second half, because if he and Hepburn were both turning on the Jets, this game might be a 20-point deficit for them instead of a 2-point lead.
Brendan Buckley with 3 minutes left. Myjay Wiley works his way in. Kyle with good defense forces the miss. And now Chucky Hepburn the other way. Here he comes, straight ahead. Hepburn dishes. Waiting for the miss from Rollins. Kyle gets it to go. We are tied at 58. 2:43 left.
Welcome back to the Classic, folks. Did you expect anything different? Chucky Hepburn dishes to Kyle. Great play by Kyle. And Prep needs to calm down here.
Rollins, great patience, and one, A.J. Rollins. Great stuff from the two big men here of Creighton Prep and Bellevue West. Foul was called on William Kyle, and now Prep is going to bring Luke Jungers out of the game along with Brennan Buckley as Connor Buckley and Martell Evans come in.
Smart substitutions by Coach Lutke. The key now for Prep isn't necessarily offensive scoring, especially inside. The key for them is stopping Bellevue West's offense, and right now, Evans and Connor Buckley might be the best choices to do that.
61-58 Creighton Prep. Hepburn for the tie, too strong. City, though, tried to track down the rebound, got it caught in his feet, and it's out of bounds. Bellevue West catches a break, and they will take over with 2:18 to go.
And that's one of the biggest breaks I've ever seen. Not a great idea to take a 35-footer, basically, there by Chucky Hepburn, but City mishandles it out of bounds, and now they get another chance to cut the deficit to one or tie it up. Prep really needs a stop now.
Hepburn working around City, and he is fouled. That's going to be a shooting foul, as they call it on Justin City.
That's his third, I think.
Hepburn will go to the line to shoot two. Chance to reach 25 points on the night if he makes them both. First one is good. 24 for Chucky Hepburn. 2 points shy of his season high, which is 26, as he misses the second free throw. Still a 2-point game here. Evans spins back nicely on Chucky Hepburn and is able to get out of the backcourt.
Prep doesn't need a bucket here. They'd like one, but what they need is a good long possession that takes a lot of time off the clock. Only 1:45 to go right now.
Martell Evans, 1:40 to go. Junior Jays definitely taking their time, as he said, and there is a timeout called for by Coach Lukey. So timeout Creighton Prep, 1:39 to go in the fourth quarter, and if you're the Junior Jays, who do you trust most to have the ball in their hands against this steal-happy Bellevue West team?
It really depends on who's in the game. If they go back to the starter's choice with Brendan Buckley and Luke Jungers coming back in, I put the ball in Brendan Buckley or Justin City's hands. If they're not in, I say keep the ball in City's hands, let him work, maybe look for Martell Evans on the drive, but other than that, keep the ball in the hands of your guards. You don't want to risk a big man getting a turnover.
1:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Prep leads Bellevue West by 2. Chucky Hepburn has willed the Thunderbirds back into this game, had that amazing streak of points in the end of the third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter. He's sitting at 24 right now. Frankie Fiddler only has 9 after the 30 he put up against Creighton Prep in the first matchup in the Metro Holiday Tournament. Josiah Dodsler has 11. And then Justin City, Luke Jungers both have 16 on the other side for Creighton Prep.
Fiddler's struggles have been the key to Prep's defensive success too, because if his scoreline holds, this won't only be the first time he scored in single digits.
Rollins goes right in, shot doesn't go. Hepburn with a long pass, right on the money to Fiddler. Layup doesn't go, fight for the rebound, and it is a foul called against Creighton Prep. So that's gonna send Fiddler to the line. Huge free throws coming up here with the 1-and-1. He can tie the game if he makes both, as the foul was on City.
That's now 4 on City and Jungers. Prep's two biggest offensive producers, or maybe that's only 3 on City, I'm not sure, but Prep's biggest offensive producers in real danger of fouling out as Fiddler gets his first point since the second quarter.
10 points now for Fiddler. This free throw can tie the game. Up and good. 61-61. 1:25 to go. Jungers looking for an inbound. Gets it to City. Nice pass fake. Back to Jungers.
Just be careful if you're Prep. You don't need to make any risky long passes. You don't need to make any risky long shots.
Brennan Buckley.
Just keep the ball in your hands.
Bell West looking for a steal. Now Buckley circles back. 1:10 to go. Now he'll come in. Buckley is going to be fouled on the floor, so that's going to result in 2 shots.
I think that might have been on Greg Brown.
It is on Greg Brown.
Buckley did a really good job of looking like he was kind of just dribbling around to waste time. And then as soon as he got Brown to maybe slack off just a little bit, he drove straight past him and forced a foul.
Buckley, first free throw is good. 9 points on the night for Brennan Buckley. Gives the Junior Jays the lead with 1:09 to go. Second one is up, and it's no good, so it remains a 1-point game. Just over a minute to play. Hepburn, Dodsler, shot fake, three-pointer is no good again, but Hepburn's got the board, misses it. Kyle is stripped, and it's out of bounds. Bellevue West basketball. Holy Toledo, what a sequence there.
Yeah, what a turn of events. Dodsler, wide open three, pump fakes, gets himself more wide open, misses the three. All 6 feet of Chucky Hepburn come flying and get the offensive rebound. He misses. William Kyle gets it. He gets stripped and the ball goes out of bounds. I'm not sure which team got luckier there.
Hepburn gonna throw it all the way back into the backcourt for Greg Brown. He's gonna take a three. Hepburn, yes sir! Chucky Hepburn with 50 seconds left. Bellevue West leads by 2, and now they've got a steal. Fiddler brings it the other way, but throws it out of bounds off the hands of Brown. My, oh my, this game. Unbelievable stuff between these two teams down the stretch.
Junger's back in now for Prep, so it is starters versus starters. Likely for the rest of this game as we get a timeout.
Yeah, timeout, and it is a new season high. 27 points tonight for Chucky Hepburn, and if Bellevue West wins this game, I mean, even maybe if they lose this game, he is the MVP of this one. What an unbelievable performance tonight.
Especially considering his first half struggles. He had 4 points coming into halftime and was 1 of 5 from the field, and then he just put it into another gear in the second half, and really just in the fourth quarter, because he only had 6 in the third, but in the fourth so far, he's got, let me see, 4 different three-pointers.
Wow.
And 17 points in the quarter, outscoring Prep as a team by 3. And in my opinion, right now, the question becomes for Prep, how long do you hold the ball? Because you know you need a bucket, but you also don't want to give Hepburn too much time to get another bucket of his own. So if you're Prep, do you hold until there's 15 seconds and then go 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds? Or do you just go for a bucket right away? It's a tough decision.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the possession here.
You definitely need to get a bucket.
42.5 to play. Jungers will inbound. It's Rollins, City, Brennan Buckley, and Wiley on the floor, along with Jungers for Creighton Prep. Here comes the inbound. To J. Wiley. Back to Jungers. 3-on-2 chance here. Let's see if they go right to the basket. They do. City, no good. Rebound. Greg Brown with it for Bellevue West. And he gets tackled by Luke Jungers. That's a foul. And it puts Bellevue West in the double bonus. So 2 free throws coming up.
And that's it for Jungers, I think.
Yep, he's fouling out. That's 5.
So Luke Jungers, after an impressive performance, gonna have to take a seat just when Prep might need him most, getting a rebound off of free throws. But I can't believe Justin City missed that shot.
Yeah.
He had an open lane to the bucket, got the drive, put it up, and it just didn't go.
Greg Brown to shoot 2. A 57% free throw shooter this year, gets the first one down. It is a 3-point lead for Bellevue West. And we're gonna have a timeout called for by the Thunderbirds with 32.6 to go. Living up to the hype, these two teams. Unbelievable game we have seen. It was 35-35 at halftime. Bellevue West got off to a nice start in the third quarter, but then Creighton Prep stormed back. They were up by 11 at one point, but Chucky Hepburn got the Thunderbirds right back into the game, and now they lead by 3, and this is a massive free throw coming up for Greg Brown.
Indeed it is, but really no matter what happens in this game, no matter who wins, if Bell West is the best team in Class A right now, Creighton Prep is not very far behind.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they're hanging in the game, 1 possession game against the team that knocked off number 1 Miller North convincingly. So the top 3 in Class A is going to be quite the thing to watch moving forward.
And maybe even the top 4, depending on how Omaha Central performs over the next couple
we'll see what
weeks.
Central can do.
Heck, maybe even the top 5 if Lincoln Pius goes on a run.
Who knows?
And so the key here for Prep, no matter really what happens on this free throw, is you do not need a 3. You need a bucket. You need it fast. It does not matter how many points it is worth, but you need points on the scoreboard almost immediately after this free throw.
Brown's free throw is good. It is a 4-point Bell West lead. 30 seconds to play. Here comes City. Gonna go in on Dodsler. Kick out. Buckley, shot fake. Moves his way in and lays it home. So that's exactly what you told him to do. Brennan Buckley gets the layup, 2-point game. Now the inbound. There's the foul right away. Greg Brown's going right back to the line as J. Wiley fouls him. 11 points for Buckley with that layup. Second foul on J. Wiley. And Greg Brown, after going 2 for 2 from the free throw line to give Bellevue West a 4-point lead, will have a chance to do so once again. This time with 16.3 to go, and that is a timeout called for by Creighton Prep.
Well,
so now I gotta say, with 16.3 to go instead of 40 seconds left, does the strategy change for Creighton Prep after this free throw?
Yes. It doesn't really matter. Okay, if Greg Brown hits both, go and get another bucket. If he goes 1 of 1 or 0 of 2, hold for the last shot, but make darn sure it's a good look, it's an open look, and that there's a good chance it's gonna go down. Otherwise, there's no point. You've got to make sure it's open. You've got to make sure it's with a guy you know. Like, I don't want A.J. Rollins shooting a 3 to win this game. Sorry, A.J., but
I mean, that'd be quite the fun scenario.
It would be
it's
very
not ideal for Creighton Prep by any stretch of the
ideal
imagination.
play is to get Brendan Buckley or Justin City open in one of the corners and have them let it fly. And if you get that with time left on the clock, so be it. Just get the open shot and get it to go.
By the way, the buzzer beater you might remember from Spencer Shomers to down #1 Central last year, a year ago tomorrow. Can Creighton Prep pull off the heroics again tonight? Down by 2, it's all going to depend on these Greg Brown free throws here. Can he make them both again?
If he can, Prep's going to have to turn around and run about as hard as they can down court.
First free throw from Brown is up and good. Greg Brown up to 8 points now, and it's the 3-point lead for Bell West. So once again, it comes down to this free throw. Up and no good. Prep can tie it with a 3. City's got it. 12 seconds left.
Get it to one of the shooters.
Here he comes. City's going to drive in. Kick out. Buckley. There it is. 3-pointer. It's good. We are tied at 67. Brennan Buckley hits the 3, an off-balance shot, and Creighton Prep has tied it with 2.3 to go.
Well, Brendan Buckley in the corner. Have at it, man.
Unbelievable. I mean, it can't get any better between these two teams.
I mean, a great play by Justin City, too. He drew the defense, made a great pass, and Brendan Buckley, 47% three-point shooter. You think he's going to miss in that situation? Heck no. And now
Bell West can win it with 2.3 to go.
Well,
4 seconds. They just added 1.7 to the clock. 4 seconds
I mentioned
left.
that the Prep defense is better than is good at holding teams to low scoring. Bell West is get better at forcing turnovers. So the question is, for Prep, who do you guard and why are you double teaming Hepburn? Because you have to double him.
Yeah.
At this point, you have to double him. I know he's a great passer, but you don't need to guard the inbounder at this point, even if it's from half court. Just do not let Hepburn get an open shot. Do not let Fiddler get an open shot. And do not foul Greg Brown.
4 seconds left. 4.0 exactly. 67-67.
And if you can get a steal here,
Evans is coming in for
better.
Prep. Martell Evans will come in for J. Wiley.
They're going the super small lineup.
Actually, they're going to bring Casey O'Malley out of the game.
Yeah, because remember, Bell West has to go full court. So there is no need to put a man on the inbounder. Just don't let them get an open shot.
Yep, Connor Buckley is backing off significantly from Josiah Dodsler.
Don't want Hepburn to get a half quarter.
Hepburn.
Uh-oh.
Here he comes.
Uh-oh.
He gets it off.
No way.
And it's no good. To overtime we go between number 2 and number 3 as Hepburn cannot convert the long three-pointer at the buzzer. Another overtime game in the top 3. There have been 4 top 3 matchups this year in Class A. We had Prep and Bellevue West meeting up in the Metro Holiday semifinal. We had Miller North Bellevue West, which went to 2 overtimes. We had Miller North Bellevue West again last night, which did not go to overtime. Now we have this, which is going to overtime again.
We love our overtimes here on CPTV, don't we?
Oh, man.
Holy catfish, what a game this is turning out to be.
4 minutes of overtime. More will come if necessary. 67-67. Both teams are in the double bonus. And you look at the leading scores after 32 minutes of play. Chucky Hepburn with 27 for Bell West. Frankie Fiddler has 11. Josiah Dodsler has 11. And then on the Creighton Prep side, Luke Jungers, who fouled out. We'll see how much of an impact that has in overtime. He had 16. Justin City had 16. And then Brennan Buckley with 11. Actually 14, including that huge three-pointer to tie it with 4 seconds left and force overtime.
You mentioned Jungers fouling out. So now it's A.J. Rollins that really has to get going because he's struggled almost as badly as Hepburn's first half was. 5 points for him. Missed a couple of bunny layups too. But now he's really the only big Prep has unless they want to put in Tony Tubrick. So he is going to have to make a lot of plays this overtime if Prep wants to upset the number 2 team in Class A.
Rollins won the tip-off. Here's Brennan Buckley. Over to Rollins. MyJ Wiley.
They got to switch. They got to switch. They got to use it.
Rollins on Hepburn. Now Justin City. Up against Brown. He works his way through and gets fouled. That's going to be 2 shots for Justin City, and free throws as important as ever here in overtime. Foul was called on Greg Brown. That's his 3rd. And here goes Justin City to the line. 21 seconds into overtime. First free throw from City is up and good. 17 points. He's taken over the individual team lead.
Justin City, one of the guys you probably trust the most on this Prep team to finish a shot from just about anywhere in this overtime. I expect to see the ball in his hands quite a lot.
Second free throw, however, is no good. So 1 for 2 from the line for City, and now Chucky Hepburn for the Thunderbirds. 3.5 left in overtime. Frankie Fiddler has been extremely quiet tonight. Hepburn has not been quiet, and the three-pointer goes in and out. Dodsler out to Fiddler after another offensive board, and now Hepburn will settle things down at the top. 3:15 to go in overtime. Wiley on him. Now they get the switch. Hepburn juggled it, and it's out of bounds, and Hepburn again in disbelief with the call. Creighton Prep takes over with 3:10 to go.
I know it doesn't really look like it considering Hepburn's knocking on the door of 30 points right now, but Justin City in the one-on-one situations has done a pretty good job, all things considered.
Well, yeah, when you think about it, City was on him basically the entire first half, and what did Hepburn have, 2 or 4 points?
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes MyJ.
Wiley. Buckley, nice job to keep the feet in bounds. Throws it, and Connor Buckley with a great catch against Fiddler. City gonna take the 3. City gonna hit! Justin City, 4-point lead for Creighton Prep. And he has 20 on the night.
Bucket away from setting a new career high against this Thunderbird team.
Greg Brown with 2:40 to go.
Bell West has to get a bucket here.
Back to Brown. Dodsler, shot fake. Now we'll take the 3. It is no good after a couple bounces. It's poked out of bounds by Brennan Buckley. And the Thunderbirds will keep it. 2:27 to go. Hepburn will inbound.
Josiah Dodsler really struggled from beyond the arc. That's his 5th missed 3, but William Kyle did a great job to get that offensive rebound and keep this possession alive for the Thunderbirds.
Hepburn doesn't take the shot and is fouled on the floor by Rollins, and with the double bonus, Chucky's going to the line for 2. 2:20 to play in overtime. Hepburn already with a career high 27.
You mean season high? He dropped 40 against Westside his freshman year. He's a little bit away from that.
But who knows how long this game's going to last. We had the 2 overtime game with Miller North and Bellevue West where a certain St. Thomas had 48. So who knows what Chucky will do. Second free throw makes it 29 for Hepburn. And it's a 2-point lead for Prep. 2:15 left in overtime. Justin City against Dodsler. J. Wiley goes through the hands. Thunderbirds take over. They can tie it with a 2 and take the lead with a 3.
And some great combo defense by Chucky Hepburn, Josiah Dodsler. Able to get the turnover. Now Bell West has to make the conversion.
Halfway through the overtime period, Hepburn goes right in on Rollins, gets the basket and the foul.
And the Prep birdcage absolutely furious. Rollins looked like his feet were planted to the ground, but Hepburn gets the call. What a play from Chucky. That puts him at what?
31.
31.
Oh man. What an evening from Chucky Hepburn. And now we'll see if he can finish off the 3-point play and give Bellevue West the lead. All kinds of noise from the birdcage. No problem for Chucky Hepburn. Thunderbirds take a 1-point lead. Here's Brennan Buckley with 1:55 left in OT. Past the midway point of the period. Buckley goes in on Fiddler, now back out again. Looking for something here, taking plenty of time. 1:40 to go. Buckley still waiting.
No need to hurry yet. There's still 1:30 to go.
Yep. Buckley still has the basketball. Now will go in, and Brennan Buckley gets it to go. Unbelievable patience, waiting for the longest time for something to develop. But here's Hepburn. Dishes to Brown, out to Fiddler. Oh, he mishandled that, would have had an open 3. Now Josiah Dodsler with 1:15 to go. Fiddler, back to Dodsler. Brown, inside, Kyle on Wiley. Oh boy, what a mismatch. All right, it's a Bellevue West lead with 1:07 to go.
Great play there by William Kyle to see the mismatch on J. Wiley and exploit it well. Under a minute to go. And oh boy, we're coming down to the wire again.
Justin City, under a minute to play, 52 seconds left. Connor Buckley, City inside to Rollins. His shot banks in off the glass. Prep back in front at 75-74. 40 seconds to play.
Screen and roll action with Hepburn and Kyle.
Wide open. Dodsler. Thunderbirds back in front. I mean, this is unbelievable. Back and forth we go in overtime.
I'm getting very close to speechless here, Tyler. This is just
You're not the only one. You are not the only one, and I am sure you are joined by many at home. I mean, this game has just been incredible.
And you could, one thing that was so great about that possession for Bell West is you could see that they were trying to set up this screen and roll action with Chucky Hepburn and William Kyle. I think I mentioned it right before Hepburn made the pass, but all eyes for the Junior Jays were on Hepburn and Kyle. Dodsler able to use that to his advantage, slip baseline, no one covered him, and he got the open layup.
35.3 to go. Chucky Hepburn has a season-high 32 points tonight, and he's basically the entire reason why Bellevue West was able to come back into this game and force overtime.
I mean, when no one else was hitting a shot, he was. He's the only scoring so far in the second half, not including overtime. But in the third and fourth quarters, Chucky Hepburn provided the only Bellevue West points that did not come from the free throw line.
So 76-75 lead for Bell West with 35.3 to go. It's going to be Creighton Prep basketball.
They've got to keep putting it in the hands of their playmakers.
Yep.
Get it to Justin City, get it to Brendan Buckley, maybe post up A.J. Rollins again and let him work.
We shall see. 35.3 to go. Prep scored the first 4 points of the overtime period, but Bellevue West stormed back, and now they're going back and forth. City back to Wiley. City again. 30 seconds to go. Hepburn on City. Great matchup there. City works his way through and gets contacted. There's no call, and it's no good.
How in the world can you not call a foul there?
Dodsler, 15 seconds left, and they do foul him. Brennan Buckley is called for it. Wow. I mean, that looked like the most foul thing in the world, but I guess not.
I mean, yeah, you could see the birdcage thinking it. You could see City thinking it as he went down with William Kyle basically on top of him. But another no call there, and Bell West, the beneficiary.
Dodsler hits the first free throw. Prep's still in it though.
Yeah.
Because even if he hits them both, three-pointer ties the game, forces another overtime.
And by overtime, the other team basically knows what you're going to do. So just go with what works. Run the same play you ran at the end of regulation. City and Buckley in the corner. That's what they're going to do.
Buckley, Connor Buckley, 6 seconds left. Got to take a three at some point. And Hepburn with a foul. But now only 2 free throws coming for Connor Buckley.
That might be a smart play there by Chucky Hepburn.
It's exactly what we saw in the Bell West Miller North game at the end of the second overtime.
Yeah, that puts him at 4 fouls, which is very dangerous potentially for the Thunderbirds. But 2 potential points is better than 3. So a very smart play by Chucky Hepburn.
First free throw good from Connor Buckley. His first, or actually 3 points on the night for him. Here comes the second, 4.7 to go to make it a 1-point game.
If he misses this, he got to foul quickly.
He does miss, and they foul William Kyle with 4 seconds left. So only 7/10 of a second taken off the clock. That's a plus for Prep.
They've still got a timeout too.
Yeah, but now if Kyle makes them both, Junior Jays are in troubled waters.
Yes. If he only hits 1, you still got the timeout. But what I would try to do is maybe throw a lob pass down court. That will only take about a second off the clock, then call a timeout. Then you got 3 seconds from midcourt. I think that's a much better proposition.
It all rides on these 2 free throws from William Kyle. First one, it comes up well short. So Prep will still have a chance as Casey O'Malley comes in, a much better 3-point shooter than Connor Buckley. And that is the timeout used by Creighton Prep. So that ensures that missed free throw, that ensures that the Junior Jays still going to have an opportunity to hit either a 3 or a 2 to tie the game depending on this second free throw. So if Prep has to make a 2, whose hands are you putting it in? If Prep has to make a 3, whose hands are you putting it in?
I honestly don't think it matters with how little time is left.
Yeah.
Especially because they just use a timeout. If this is whether this is a make or a miss does not matter. What matters is the fact that Prep's got 4 seconds to go the length of the court and put something up. If it's a 3, I'd say get it in the hands of Buckley, but a 3 might be the only chance Prep gets anyway. So I say get it to Buckley or get it to City. If somebody else is wide open, get it to them and just go. Go immediately, get the shot up, and hope.
We'll see how it plays out. All depends on this second free throw from William Kyle. And Joe Sudbeck's going to be in the game for Creighton Prep here. A.J. Rollins will be out, so the Junior Jays going with a 3-point shooter lineup here, which they will need if Kyle misses this or makes this free throw.
Well, the danger of this lineup, too, is if Bell West gets the offensive rebound off this, the game's over no matter what.
Absolutely.
So Majay Wiley, Casey O'Malley right now. Greg Brown, tallest guy in the lane at 6'4". And Majay Wiley stands 6'3". If he can win that battle, then Prep still has a chance.
Second free throw is good. Evan Inselman will come in for William Kyle. 4 seconds on the clock. Prep once again needs a 3-pointer to tie the game and force another overtime.
And this is a situation where it'd be nice to have Sam Meisenberg on the team.
Yeah, no kidding.
He could throw a Hail Mary. But it looks like it's going to be O'Malley doing that work.
O'Malley with 4 seconds. Into City, knocked out of bounds. And second to be Bell West basketball.
What?
No, it won't. No, it won't. Okay.
I was going to say, I thought the ref. That can't be Bell West.
I thought the ref pointed that way initially.
There's no possible way that Bell West retains possession off that play.
Yeah, that was off. Yeah, I'm looking at the replay. That was off of Bell West all the way. And what is the deal? Is it going to be Prep?
He is
going
pointing
to
to the
Prep
Prep bench. So
not sure what the confusion was there. 3.8 to go now. O'Malley checks out. Connor Buckley checks in as the inbounder.
And 6'7" Frankie Fiddler guarding Connor Buckley right now. Oh, he's got Maje. He's got Maje.
Instead finds City. Here he comes up the court, and he's fouled there.
Another great play by Bell West.
He's only going to have a chance for 2 free throws, so now you've got to intentionally miss the second. Again, same situation we saw with Bell West Miller North in the Metro Holiday Final.
They're learning from their mistakes, and aside from a miracle happening, it looks like they're going to move to 15-1.
First free throw from City is good. He has tied his career high with 21.
That is very helpful that City hits that free throw, because now A.J. Rollins coming back in for Joe Sudbeck. So now him and Connor Buckley in the lane with Greg Brown and William Kyle in the near slots.
All right.
So City's got to be really careful with this.
There's the intentional miss. Rollins got his hand on it. Kyle comes away, and Bellevue West survives in overtime against Creighton Prep, 79-77. And they complete the big weekend, beating Miller North, #1 team in the state on Friday night, and barely hanging on by the skin of their teeth, going on the road and beating #3 Creighton Prep in overtime. And they're grittying their way off the court. 32 points from Chucky Hepburn. Another classic between 2 of the top 3 teams in the state.
Just an incredible performance by both teams all throughout this game. And in the end, it wasn't necessarily the best team, but it was certainly the best player that came away with the win.
So Bellevue West remains perfect in regular season play. Creighton Prep takes their first regular season loss. Their only 2 losses of the season as a whole have come to Bellevue West. And now the question is, what do you do with Miller North? Because Bellevue West beat them handily. #2 beat #1 handily. And then Prep, #3, beat Bellevue West, who beat Miller North handily, or Prep played Bellevue West close.
My guess is it's going to be Bell West 1, Miller North 2, Central 3, Prep 4, Pius 5.
You're throwing Central in at 3?
I'm throwing Central in at 3 solely because of the 2 Prep losses. I don't think it's fair to a 1-loss team like Central to say that a close loss counts. It's kind of like the college football playoff.
Okay.
You can't say A&M, oh, look at that. They've got a quality loss. A quality loss doesn't matter. What matters is quality wins. And right now, Central just has more wins, period, than Prep. But that should not take away from what Prep has done tonight. An incredible game. Looked like they had the probable #1 team in the state on the ropes at some points during this game. Just a shame they couldn't finish.
Yep, Mr. Stu Pospisil, you better get to work on that top 10 because it's going to be interesting come Monday. But that is it from here. Bellevue West comes into the Hyder Center and survives Creighton Prep 79-77 in overtime. We thank you for joining us tonight. Tyler Reed and Brennan Prizeman saying so long and have a great rest of your weekend.